We're so glad you're with us for CNTV. I'm Brad Claunch.
And I'm Quinn Tran. Some Chickasaw Nation events have been canceled or postponed out of an abundance of caution in response to the coronavirus pandemic. The cancellation includes the Three Sisters celebration at the Chickasaw Cultural Center. Get the latest list of cancellations and closings on the tribe's website. From the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, these are steps to protect yourself from COVID-19, the coronavirus. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. If you use hand sanitizer, make sure it contains at least 60% alcohol. Rub the sanitizer all over your hands until it dries. Don't touch eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Take steps to protect others. Stay home if you're ill. Cover coughs and sneezes. Throw away tissues after use and wash your hands. Clean and disinfect frequently. Touch surfaces daily. Areas that include doorknobs, light switches, countertops, faucets, phones, and keyboards. Visit cdc.org for additional prevention tips and information on the coronavirus. Over the years, we've met many talented Chickasaws. At the Artesian Gallery and Studios in Sulphur, they've shared and inspired others to create art. Their beautiful pieces are on display. A Chickasaw woman shows how something grown from the garden can eventually take on an art form.
Gourds are not just a flat canvas. You know, they have texture, they have modeling, they have unique characteristics about them.
Growing from vines to now pieces of art, Donna Welch uses gourds to connect people to nature.
Gourds were found on every single continent, and tribal people all over the world have considered them a gift from the Creator because they're so versatile. When you see the shape of the water canteen today as that round shape, it was mimicking the original gourds. The first clay pottery actually was in the shape of gourds because they were mimicking what the shape of the gourd was. And so they were very utilitarian. However, because the nature of a gourd is very similar to wood, but it's a little bit easier to work with, the decorative process started happening where wood burning was happening, painting, carving.
The Chickasaw artist has mastered gourd art over the years.
If you look at your gourd, you'll probably see some discoloration.
At the Artesian Gallery and Studios, she shares the techniques of this challenging art form.
They're not perfectly symmetrical, they're not predictable. When working with a gourd, just like wood, you have hard spots and soft spots, but gourds are even more dramatic. With gourds, you start out with one idea and the gourd will dictate if it's going to go that direction or not. And oftentimes, you'll be working with a gourd and a mistake will happen. Sometimes those mistakes end up being the very thing that turns into an aspect of the gourd that really stands out and you like it.
That's how all of these came to be. Add wire, beads, texture, and stones to make them one-of-a-kind works of art.
Gourds are very much like people. Every single one is different. You know, different sizes, different shapes, different colorations, which is one of the things I love about them. I didn't sculpt it. It came from nature that way. You know, whatever happens, you have to stop and regroup and go, okay, what am I going to do with this? And that's how life is. You can't carry around a big eraser and go, oops, I did that, so I'm going to erase that and get rid of it. You are where you're at, and so you have to go forward, and how are you going to take that mistake and turn it into something beautiful that you can present, and that discoloration or the misshapen piece that you can turn into something beautiful, and I think that's what each one of us are.
The Artesian Gallery and Studios in Sulphur features many of Donna Welch's gourd art as well as the works of other Chickasaw artists.
You may also sign up for Donna's art classes held here throughout the year. You can call the number on your screen for more information on art classes and programs. The Chickasaw Nation Division of Arts and Humanities encourages youth to elevate their artistic talents. One way is offering a young artist studio located in Ada, Oklahoma. Students age 14 to 17 get technical resources to help them with art portfolios and mentorship. They get access to the studio at the Arts and Humanities building in Ada every Tuesday evening through mid-May. The youth work with experienced and credentialed teachers. Call the Chickasaw Nation Division of Arts and Humanities to learn about the Young Artist Studio and other programs for youth. Established in 2006, the Chickasaw Press is the first Native American tribal press of its kind.
The Chickasaw Press offers outstanding publications. We leave you with a book recommendation, a must-read, titled Chickasaw Removal.
If you look at Chickasaw removal in any way in comparison to the others, the Chickasaws fared much better. And I think they did that simply because they were the ones who were in charge. The Chickasaw removal was paid for by the Chickasaw Nation, not by the federal government, not some outside organization, but because they had control of the finances, that meant that they were independent to make decisions that they probably couldn't have if they had been relying on the federal government to supply goods and services. If those Chickasaws that went southwest from Little Rock didn't have any supplies along the way because the government hadn't counted on them going that way, and the agent would say, well, this is going to cost the Chickasaw Nation a lot more money, and the Chickasaw reply every time they'd talk about money was, okay, it's our money, we'll spend it however we want to. And they made that plain to the government all along. The Chickasaws did not have to go into camps. They were able to stay at home until an agent came through the neighborhood saying, okay, we're going to meet at a certain area near the Cotton Gin Port to Memphis Road. And so when the day came, then they would gather in, move along the road, and then families joined them as they went up the road. So they escaped that attrition of population that came with living in those concentrated, really unsanitary conditions.